Hey, Tiffany, welcome to the show. I'm so excited that you're here.
Having me on. I'm so excited to be here today.
Awesome. Well, why don't we start off you just telling us a little bit about yourself?
Well, my name is Tiffany Bymaster, but online I am known by and totally answer to Coach Glitter. It's kind of a funny story and a funny name that I adopted a long time ago, back when Twitter was first starting out, MySpace, which wasn't that long ago, but I would say entrepreneur years are like dog years. And
Yeah.
and the changes on social media. But this was just a few years back, maybe about 7 years ago, when everybody was really scared about getting found in the public and will people come stalk me. So a lot of people used avatars. So that's why you see so many people on Instagram and YouTube who have been around for a while. They all, we don't use our personal names the way that you see so many people do today. So that name came about because I started off in the actually offline. I was a makeup artist for over 20 years, actually started off as a wardrobe stylist before that, and then became a set designer and worked behind the scenes on Fashion Week and in magazines and commercials, television, film. And then I started doing commercials and met Shalene Johnson back when she was just starting off her Turbo Fire, even before that, Turbo Jam and all her Beachbody
Oh, wow.
videos that she was doing. We met at the gym and we started working together, and we worked together for over 12 years. And that exposed me to this whole online space as she really blossomed away just from being fitness offline and in infomercials, and really growing her personal brand business and empire, which is what it
Yeah.
is today in the online space. And I was the girl working behind the scenes, never saw photos of me, hardly ever. I would duck away from them. I was the most camera shy person, never did video. And it wasn't until Periscope came out that I was at an event and I literally got pushed in front of a live Periscope and discovered, oh my gosh, this is equally the most frightening thing and the most exciting thing. And my brand really came to life on one video, on one live video. And ever since that day, I really created the intention from being this person that was behind the scenes and helping so many people. And people would ask me so many questions, and having a presence online on social media, but just as the faceless voice that people trusted when they wanted to know about the best products. Everyone said I was like the walking human Yelp. And they trusted like they trusted what I said. And it started as silly as that, as simple as that. And it's grown into this high multi six figure. We just missed the 7-figure mark last year, 5 years into this online business. And it's just been amazing to see the growth and the possibility of what can happen in the space if you just focus on one thing and go big, go all in. And that's really how I got here, from being the makeup artist and the stylist and the wardrobe stylist, to really like creating this entire brand new business in the online space.
So, what is that one thing that you focused on that helped you explode to having an almost $1 million business?
The one thing is really focusing on one product,
Yeah.
like you one product, and honing in on your skills on not just becoming a better coach or a better teacher, a better mentor, a better all of those things, which is what we do when we are teaching and educating other people to do anything, whether it's Pinterest or live video. So focusing on one course, one product, one offer, and then honing in on your skills and improving and improving and improving, which is exactly how you get better on live video as well as the person in front of the camera. And then building my brand on the social media and building my list and really becoming a business owner and learning all the ins and outs of marketing and advertising and having a presence and what it really means to be a personal brand. I really focused on that. It was not ever, and it still isn't today, about being popular.
Mm.
I want to impact lives. And when you impact lives, you're also going to make a bigger, profitable, more sustainable business. And that is exactly what I want to do today.
Love everything you're saying. So, talk to us about the power of video. Why do you think video is so important?
Video is so impactful. I mean, obviously, we're on a podcast, and podcasts are huge. And I never think it has to be, when it comes to how we develop our own voice, how we get into other people's heads, that we have to really have a presence. And how do we get our voice heard? How do we get to be known, heard, seen first before anybody can know, like, and trust us in order to invest themselves with us and our products and our offers. And there's no better way than live video. There's video in general, but I think video, recorded video, that's a totally different beast. And I focus on laser focus on live video because I think it's the easiest thing to step into. There is no expectation for perfection, which is hallelujah, thank you, and amen. I'll take that all day, every day, versus recorded video where you're like, I gotta edit. Should I get an editor?
Yeah.
Am I gonna take 900 takes? Am I going to get it perfect? Do I have to add all the graphics on the screen? With live video, we're just connecting with our audience. And think about your own behaviors. When you see somebody on live video, you get to really, really speed up that know, like, and trust factor because you're seeing them, you're hearing them. You can see what their mannerisms are like, and you're going to make an opinion and a judgment either way. And I have seen people skyrocket their brand so much faster versus what they were doing prior to their live video before they're getting, brave enough to do it consistently, that they were showing up and their brand just skyrocketed because people were really seeing them. And compared to just regular posts, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, or any of the other popular platforms, I focus on Facebook and Instagram. Sorry. Dang it, I coughed. Sorry, so sorry. Get it out of the way. So I focus on two platforms. For me, my primary platform for business building is Facebook. My secondary platform, even though I have more followers, I feel like I get a little bit more engagement on Instagram, but they're not necessarily from people who are going to be my buyers. So really discerning where your business is building versus where you feel popular. It's not necessarily the same place. I use both platforms, but a lot of people are like, oh, Facebook is dead. And I was like, not if you're building a business. You can't ignore the fact that you can still do Facebook Lives, which is, for me, my biggest argument, and the reason why I always encourage people, regardless of what stage of their business that they're in, that ignoring live video is saying yes to more expensive ads. It's saying yes to having less organic engagement, so that you're saying, yes, I don't want to create all these custom audiences based on my video views and then doing amazing next level things like creating, audiences based on those people, lookalike audiences, which if you're diving into Facebook ads or you're brand new to it, the thing is, it's these days, other than like Pinterest, it is very, very difficult to 100% build a business these days without some kind of paid advertisement. Like, let's just be real. Let's, as business owners, as smart, savvy business owners who are going for the long game, focus on what is going to build our business. And still to this day, even though Facebook and Instagram ads, they're not getting any cheaper, but they're still the most affordable way that all of us have a level playing field to build our business. I mean, think about what ads cost just to put in a newspaper, if people even look at newspapers.
No, they
And
don't.
not even on the radar to get on television, even if you live in a tiny little city where you can get on the local news or the local cable commercials. We're talking thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for maybe a 30-second spot that isn't even targeting your ideal customer avatar. So live video has so many of those benefits. And for me, though, these days, initially when I started, it was about creating instant connection. And Facebook and Instagram reward you when you have organic engagement, so that when you do run ads, you're getting those lowered costs. You're getting better targeted audiences versus doing what everybody else does when they don't have specific audiences that they're retargeting. You're doing what everyone else is. They're like, I think my perfect avatar, she's in between 28 and 45, and she drives this kind of car and watches this show and follows these pages and loves Marie Forleo. Well, so does everybody else. And ads are an auction on Facebook. So it's the higher bid, highest bidder with the best ads win. And so you're competing against everybody doing the exact same thing, not setting yourself apart. And it's so important to figure out, what can we do that's going to give us a leg up? And so for all those reasons, live video for me is like the no-brainer must-do business strategy.
So I want to make sure we understand the strategy because I know we're doing this in our business, but I want to break it down for people that have no idea what it is that you're talking about with video ads. So you are doing ads to a live video that you've done, correct? And then you retarget people who watched that video to another ad to like an opt-in page, a webinar page, or something like that.
That's one of the strategies.
Okay.
The other strategy is any video that is on your Facebook page, any video, as long as somebody watches it for a minimum of 3 seconds, but you can actually completely create targeted audience based on the length of time they watch the video. So with live videos, if you're creating a live video very intentionally with a strong CTA, and the first 30 seconds is the most important to, really grab someone's attention, whether they're a part of your warm audience or your cold audience. That's your time to really pitch yourself or talk about the topic. And you can create engagement ads based on that Facebook Live. And the second strategy that I'm even more excited about that people don't realize is that for any video on your page, you can create retargeting ads and build audiences based on video views. So building audiences based on who watched your video, anywhere from 3 seconds or the whole thing, or maybe 50%, testing those audiences, those typically will not only be the audiences that convert better, but also convert at a lower price.
Super smart. Okay. Can you give us some tips to rock it on live video?
Now, the first thing is, even before you get into the ads and all the benefits and why you want to start it, it's about the long game. Everybody is terrible on video in the beginning.
So true.
Let yourself be a beginner. Like, I always equate it to, are you learning a language for the first time? Are you learning a new skill, like riding a bike or playing a sport or a new instrument? You're gonna be terrible. I literally tell my students, your goal is to suck less every single time you do it.
I love that.
If you really allow yourself to improve with baby steps, because it is about practice. And in the beginning, like, you're sweating and you're so darn scared because we build it up in our head. And let me tell you, the longer you've been procrastinating and thinking about doing this, the bigger, the scarier, the hairier this monster in your head you made out live video to be, or video of any kind. And the fact is that it's not true. So doing that first one, the first 5, the first 10, the first 15, 20, it's really just about learning the platform, where the buttons are. Most people start off sideways. Good. It's going to make for the best story when you are crushing it on live video a year from now. But it's like any other social media platform. You got to go for the long game. But this is a skill that you are also simultaneously developing while you're building more organic engagement, while you're speaking to your potential customers, while you're creating those relationships and those really, really important conversations that we need to have in social media. I would say you got to put the social back into social media. We can't just post and scram. We can't not have conversations with people. And getting better on live video means that you're going to be more engaging, that you're actually going to attract people to want to stay and watch, and then they're going to speak back to you, because in the beginning it is crickets. My friends, it is going to be crickets in the beginning. But your objective in the beginning is not to be this perfect, amazing live video broadcaster. It is to just get over your nerves and learn the platform, learn how to become a better speaker, learn how to really convey your message. There is, if you want on-the-job training on what is landing with your clients, how to speak to their needs and not make it about the you show, but learn and speak to what their pain points are and address them and get clarity on your brand messaging, get clarity on who it is that you want to be known for, what to be known for. All of those things happen on the job training, in air quotes, when you're doing live video.
So I love that you said, give yourself permission to suck, basically, because nobody is going to see it in the beginning. Like, people think they're going to have all these viewers, but nobody's going to see it in the beginning at all. So it's totally fine that you suck.
Unless you have a huge brand and you're just not implementing video, which is like, listen, if you already have an audience somewhere, whether it's your email list, another platform, you're just insta famous already, you do YouTube. Well, if you do YouTube, the funny thing is, even people who do recorded video, live video is kind of like that thing that they've been putting off and they're kind of freaked out too, but they usually transition and become better pretty quickly. But unless you already have a built-in audience, you're not going to get viewers. and you don't want live viewers. And here's the
No.
thing, you are going to get views regardless if there's nobody on live with you, most likely these days, until you get really intentional with your content and your confidence and how you're showing up, and you're sending that energy out into the world. That it's a good thing. It is a great thing to get that practice time. So I really want people to give themselves the grace to be terrible in the beginning and look at those first 20, 25 videos, which I know sounds like a lot, but it's not. It's those first few videos are just your getting your feet wet. It's just the practice time. And like with anything else, I'm sure like when you look back on your first 15, 20, 25 podcasts, like most people say, your first 25 podcasts, those are your practice runs. You're
Totally.
just figuring it out. And then your personality starts to come out and you get more comfortable with the thing that you're doing, however you're broadcasting your brand, whether it's podcast or video or combination, that you are going to get better with repetition, consistency, practice, and time.
Absolutely. I've had someone tell me like, "Oh, Rachel, I'm scared to do video. I couldn't do it as good as you." And I'm like, okay, first, I'm not good. But second, I've done over 1,000 videos at least since I've been in the online space since like 2011 or something crazy like that. So yeah, so I've done over 1,000 videos. Like that's plenty of opportunity to suck a lot and just get better as you go, you
Yeah.
know? So just do it and then do it again and do it again and do it again and you'll get better every single time.
Yeah, I think we lost count on how many live videos I've done, but it's well over 1,400.
Mhm.
And another benefit that you want to really hone in on this skill is that most of us who are coaches and educators and mentors in the online space, you're going to be teaching live. You're probably going to have some kind of element with group coaching or Zooms or, you know, all the different ways that you can be getting more exposure, not just to your audience, but doing master classes as a guest expert to other people's platforms and other people's groups. That's a great way to really get yourself out there. But live video has also been the the number one factor why and how I've been booked to speak on so many stages. Listen, I am not the most eloquent speaker. I know that. I'm not a natural born anything. We all had to develop these skills like most of us have. There's some people who are naturally gifted and maybe they got into acting or anything like that. I don't have that kind of background. Like I was literally the person behind the scenes. I also grew up with the stuttering problem for most of my life until about 6th grade. And so when I get nervous, I either talk really, really fast or I stumble over my words. And here's the thing, especially with live video, it has really removed that hurdle for me of not wanting to ever speak in case everything came out jumbled, which I struggled with most of my adult life, which is why I showed my talent and my work, through pictures and through my blogs and things like that. But you never heard from me or ever saw me on video. And so knowing that there's no expectation of perfection, that all of us speak, that's how humans speak. And when you're hearing that on a podcast or you're hearing that on a live anything, nobody expects that. And they don't even hear that you stumble over your words or you forget what you're saying in the middle of what you're saying. You just laugh it off and continue on because that's what humans do. And people connect with that.
Totally. Okay, so let's say I'm about to do a live video and I'm about to push play. Is there anything that I should have prepared before I go live? And what are some of the first things I should do when I start that video?
Absolutely. So let's say you've done a few, you've got a few under your belt, you're still nervous. Guess what? I get nervous all the time still, even after 1,400 plus videos. The way that I look at that first is get into the energy of your body and focus on the one person that you can impact today. That is what drives me every single day to get out of bed. I picture if you have customers, your favorite customer, your favorite client, the favorite person that you work with that is the doer and the action taker and actually is coachable. Picture that person and ask yourself, this is what I ask myself, me like, how can I serve? How can I show up and serve them? For me, it's never about, the masses. And I think that's why I've been able to build an audience is because I treat every single person who watches my video. I respect them. I am so thankful and grateful that even one person watches my live video. And so the thing that I do is I always show up prepared for them. I'm not talking about scripts, and heck no, I am not talking about teleprompters. Some people ask me about that and I was like, How is that engaging? How that completely takes away the beauty of everything that is live video. So no teleprompters, you're not scripting it out, but do have a plan. And when I talk about a plan, I simply want you to focus on, number one, introduce yourself. Never assume people know who you are because they landed on your page. The beauty of live video, especially on Facebook as well as Instagram, is that people can stumble upon you. If somebody is watching you and they comment or like or share any of the things that creates engagement, you have a chance of showing up on their news feed and getting exposure to their friends list. And so, or a part of it anyways, the way Facebook works these days. So that's how you get new people to get exposed to your video. And so we want to introduce ourselves. We do absolutely 1,000% want to know why we're doing a live video that day. What is the topic? So really all you need, and it's not difficult, know what the topic is and then have a few bullet points to talk about that topic. If you need to write those little bullet point notes down on a sticky note, do that. That's fine. I refer to my notes all the time. Sometimes I do really extensive workshop style live videos and I need to write those things down and I glance at them. Guess what? It is okay. People get so freaked out about, oh my gosh, can I look at my notes? Yeah. But in the beginning, here's the thing. We want frequency and brevity. So we want short videos, about 5 to 8 minutes. That's it in the beginning. As you're building your audience, we want to show them that we are going to give them a little piece of information, a little bite-size piece of information that they can implement, that they can learn, that they can somehow incorporate into their lives and their businesses, and that's it. We just want to show up for them and then, let them know what we're about and how we can help them. So really short, but more frequent. So it's the practice time, it's getting that consistency. And then after you really start to get more comfortable and you want to level up, then we're going to go into longer videos, but we still want to keep them to about 8 to 12 minutes. That's a little funny coming from the girl that does 30 to 40-minute videos. But again, it's not about having a specific number of minutes on your video. It's really about using every single minute wisely and that we are engaging our audience all throughout. So in the beginning, while your audience is smaller and you're getting more comfortable and you're getting better with your delivery, we're going for short, little bite-sized videos. And people love that because we're really busy. As you become the go-to person that your audience knows for your niche, that is when you're going to go for longer videos. And you can tell because your audience grows, they stay on with you longer, and you're not just speaking to crickets anymore. They are literally leaning in saying, teach us more, give us more, have a conversation with me. And you're having more conversations with them now that you have live video. So there's all different phases. That first phase of being just allow yourself to be terrible, a little bit less sucky every single day, get your footing, get more comfortable, and then you're going to improve your messaging and you're never going to run out of content, because how are you ever going to run out of things to say and have conversations with? Because I'm telling you, while you simultaneously over time, build your audience, you're also getting so much clarity on what it is that you want to say. You literally find your voice. And I don't mean your singing voice or your speaking voice, literally what it is that you want to be known for. And that confidence in that is something that is like that byproduct of doing live video. That's such a beautiful thing. You will never run out of anything to say because your audience is going to give you feedback. We can do amazing things like polls. And as we utilize the other things that social media gives us, like I love the polling features on Instagram. As they get to know you and you give them something to think about, you give them content to take those little bite-sized pieces of, they're going to give you feedback on what they want more of, what they want less of. Also your metrics, knowing your numbers as a business owner, that also means looking at your insights, and that will clearly show you as you experiment what day is better for my avatar to show up live, or are most people watching on the replay, which is going to be the case. By the way, it does not matter if you're doing your very first video or if you're doing your 5,000th video or you're The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. We all get more views on our replay. Always. More people are always going to watch on the replay. And so know that you're speaking to not just your live viewers, especially in the beginning when you don't have any, but know even in the beginning, you are going to have replay viewers. And so we want to always check back on our videos. We can't just post and scram. We want to go back, post, and engage and see if anybody has any questions. And especially in the beginning, but forever, this is my MO. Like, I will never not engage with my audience. I will always go back to check any kind of posts so that I can create those conversations. Because again, if we are really treasuring every single person who stops their scroll, who stops their crazy busy lives to ask you a question or leave a comment, you better be showing up for them.
Okay, so good. Can we go back to getting ready for that first live video? Let's say I have the notes there. You said introduce yourself and get to the point. So can you actually share with us an example of, let's say you're going to go live, like you push the live button, what do you say exactly?
So I call it my signature statement, and I help people formulate it, but it's not brain surgery, but most people forget to do this. You want people to know within like the first 10 seconds who you are, what you do, and what's in it for them. And so mine is always a different version. It never comes out exactly the same. And guess what? You don't have to be that scripted. And then I go into the topic. So I might say something like, hey, you guys, my name is Tiffany Bymaster, also known as Coach Glitter. I am so obsessively passionate about helping entrepreneurs just like you become amazing on live video. On today's show, we are going to talk about the top 3 things you need to do to get more visibility in the online space, especially if you are telling yourself that negative story that it is too dang crowded, where you are trying to make a space for yourself. That's not going to be true. So you're going to show up and we are going to have this great conversation. So go ahead, get comfy. If you feel like this is something that is going to be beneficial to your friends and your followers, go ahead and share this out before we get started. So something like that. And look at, I stumbled over my words. No big deal. It's just engaging and conversational. And you're just saying, hey, pull up a chair, grab your coffee. Like, we're just real human beings. I'm not a robot. I'm a real human being. You're a real human being. And I want you to get to know me and figure out, like, what benefit can I be of to you? How can I be of service to you? Why should you stop all the things that you have going on your day and your to-do list so that I can help you? If we approach everything that we do on everything that we share, all of our content creation, not just live video, but if we show up with that kind of mentality and that kind of service, the need to like serve, and that's really what drives me, you're going to have longevity in your business. You're not going to be those people that are like, I just need to make a quick buck. Those are the people that disappear in a year. We don't see them. And I see that so much in the business space. And that's why, I never feel like it's too crowded. I feel like it's really lonely at the top because there's a lot of people that you start off with. It's super, super crowded in the beginning. And then you set yourself apart. You set yourself apart by constantly improving your messaging, what it is that you want to be known for. And honestly, just because you stick it out. You stick it out in the beginning when other people complain. I don't get people on my videos, so I'm going to quit after 3. I'm not going to be one of those people that are like, oh my gosh, I did 4 videos and I didn't get any viewers, so this doesn't work for me. Obviously, I suck, or she's lying, and live video doesn't work for anybody. So why would I even want to persevere and stick it out and do it? Those people don't have longevity in their business. So if you're really focused on your goals, and again, going for the long game, you're going to stick it out. You're going to be resilient and you're going to do it, because look at all the examples. Look at Rachel. Look at anybody that you look up to who's like, I want to build a business similar to them in my own way. But the people out there that you can picture immediately, they are using video in some capacity, live video in particular, in some capacity as a part of their overall social media strategy. Whether you're doing webinars for your launches, whether you have evergreen launches, whether you're doing challenges, any kind of launch in particular, for all of the business builders out there, however method you use, whatever your launch vehicle is to promote your offers, you have to use live video. How can you not use live videos? Because that's how you're going to create those conversations, whether it's in a private pop-up Facebook group or on your page or a combination of the two. There is no successful business owner in our space that is not using live video in some capacity.
True that. True that. So good. Okay, so what are some of the tools that you need to get started with live video?
Your phone. That's it.
That's it.
I'm telling you guys have the capability. If you're not there already, you can. We have this magical little machine probably in the palm of your hand right now rarely escapes us. It's always there. But this is the business tool that can create multiple 7, 8-figure businesses. It has never been easier to start a business, which is why so many people do. But listen, you're going to be different. You're going to be resilient, and you're going to be the one that actually lasts year after year after year. There's lots of starters. There's very few finishers. And
True
so I
that.
would say, before you get fancy, you gotta get the foundations and start with what you have. You don't need to get those expensive or more fancy or technical third-party apps. That's something that you can grow into in the next phase. But when you're just starting out, start with your phone. And that's exactly what I teach my students to do. Focus on what you have, utilize what you have, and perfect it before you move on to the next phase, which is then you have different third-party apps. I love that you can, utilize Zoom to go live. Now that's going to be a different version of Zoom versus what you probably have just to go, do the group calls and things like that. You have to use Zoom Webinar, which is around a $50 to $60 upgrade from your basic plan. And that allows you, Zoom Webinar allows you to go live simultaneously on Facebook. So that's an option as well. And I love that because then you can use multimedia. This is why you don't want to do this in the beginning. Don't get fancy until you get the foundations, my friends. So you want to really get comfortable on camera before you add the awesome elements, which is right at your fingertips, and you will get there, which is to do slides, which is to do webinar style live videos, especially for launches. It's a beautiful way to create that connection, to really separate yourself from the legions of people that are trying to do webinars. If you're finding, like most people are, it's harder and harder to get lower costs on webinar. Webinar ads typically are the most expensive. And then when you even get them to opt in, the show up rates are typically from 15 to 25, maybe 30% if they show up for your webinars, right? So a lot of people are experimenting with using different platforms to do their webinars via live video. And in the mastermind group I'm in, a lot of people are doing that, broadcasting them simultaneously to Facebook, while it's also on the traditional webinar platforms, because people are going to stumble upon it and they're going to watch. And if they're engaged, they're going to stick around for your webinar. And those are the free, leads that people are gaining. So really think out of the box. But there's different phases. So start with what you have, use your phone, keep it really, really simple. And for business building, focus on one platform before you start to spread yourself out. I'm not one of those people, and this is just personal opinion, but someone who's been, teaching live video for the last 4 years, that I personally don't like simulcasting to multiple platforms, because I think you do a halfway job on both platforms or 3 platforms versus focusing on one. Now, I know there's always going to be an exception to the rule, and there are several people who do it well, people who have huge audiences like Rachel Hollis. She does a great job with that. But for most of us, where we have smaller audiences, I want my smaller audience to feel treasured, to feel special, that I'm speaking to them versus having my eyes shift from 2 different cameras and 2 different focuses, and then leaving everybody feeling like I'm not paying attention to them. So I've tried it, don't love it. If you like it, great, do it and do it well. But focus on what you do well. And for me, it's to have one live platform at a time. And my primary focus is Facebook, just because I love the audience engagement and all of the side benefits of audience building for future ad benefits.
So good. Okay, can you talk to us about creating like a branded office? What are some of the things that we should do to have, like, just so it looks nice, you know?
Because right now you guys can't see, but I am holed up inside my little walk-in tiny closet office. I call it my cloffice. This is not my live videos.
So that's not your branded
No, this
background.
is not see this, but it is so funny because it's where I get the best sound
Yeah.
for podcast purposes. I was just telling Rachel before we started, you don't realize how darn loud it is wherever you work. I work from home, and it is so loud, especially today is garbage day. So I was like, oh my gosh, it is so loud here. So anyways, we're live video. Wherever you're doing your videos, a lot of people are doing things in the kitchen, doing demos, doing crafting, doing whatever your niche is about. But I usually do them in several different places. You don't have to create like a set. You can, and I teach you how to do that because I've created these sets that you would never know if we're down in a basement or in a garage or in a spare bedroom or in your office. There's ways to create like faux backdrops and things like that. You can use photography backdrops. I'm not a huge fan of those because to me, on video, photography, scenic backdrops look very fake, like it's on paper. You could just really look for about a 5x8 space behind you. And before you push that go live button, take your phone and walk around your home or your office and literally shift around, going back and forth a few inches to your left, a few inches to your right, raising the camera to get a flattering angle on your face, and most importantly, looking for flattering light. If you don't have lighting, guess what? If you're doing your live videos during the daytime, you have this thing called natural lighting. So the best, most beautiful, most flattering lighting that you could use, as long as you're doing it in the daytime or it's not a cloudy day or raining or snowing, that's the limitations of natural light, is look for a window and face the window. And you want to be careful if you wear glasses like I do, even the reflection from a natural light coming in through the window, literally inch your body 2 inches to the right or 2 inches to the left, and you'll get rid of the glare from your glasses. Same thing if you're using artificial lights or studio lights, that just positioning your body. If you don't love how you look, it's because you're not taking a few moments before you hit that go live button to get a flattering angle. One of the biggest mistakes I see people do, and it's the easiest thing to correct, and then you will love how you look so much more on camera, is to raise your camera lens. So your phone or your laptop, whatever you're using to go live from, where the camera hole is, the camera lens, get that sucker up. You want it at least even with your eye level, if not maybe just like a smidge, not like so your chin is cocked up all the way backwards like a Pez dispenser, but you want your camera to be slightly above, literally inches, slightly above eye level, and that will change how your skin literally goes over your bones and your muscles, and it is so much more flattering on the face. If you don't have a super strong jawline, if you're conscientious about a double chin, or you're getting in your 40s like me and you're like, everything, gravity is just not being kind to my face and it's sliding downwards, we don't want to help it out. We want to do the opposite. We want to lift our face and we want to get the camera a little bit higher, and it'll be so much more flattering. So when you go back to watch your own replays, which is what I always teach my students to do, how will you know how to get better unless you evaluate what needs to be improved coming from